when we have someone who comes in a staggered stance where one leg is back, one leg is forward, right? If she wants to pass to my right, she's gonna, to my right, she's gonna lead with her right? Now I can't just jump in here and knock the legs out, the same as I did before. So what we're looking for first is we're gonna look to dress the hands if her hands are out. So she's leaning forward here. We're gonna look to get a 2-on-1 grip on the near hand. If we try to reach from here, she can always pull that one back, right? At least if she's not on sleeping pills, right? But some people just let their arms dangle, but we're not gonna consider that. So we're gonna look to grip this hand, right? A good way to grab it is to come from the outside here with this V grip and kind of guide the hand in here. If I try to go straight like this, she can take it back pretty easy. But when I come from the outside here, I can get that first grip and then I can reinforce with my other hand here. Okay. So this is where we're gonna work from today. And we're gonna set up some combinations. First thing is where she just keeps weight on her back leg, right? And I'm just gonna give one shot and get her front leg a little bit more forward. So this leg here, yeah, exactly here. When this leg comes forward, we have our feet on the inside and we can go right into a shin-to-shin. So my foot is on the inside here and my knee's pointing out. Now, back in the old day, I like to do shin-to-shin like this, where I should shut my arm all the way through. Now, I just very recently just changed my opinion on that because I experienced a lot of people who are good at punching in underhooks here. So we're gonna look at today going for shallow shin-to-shin where I snake my arm around, just right around the calf here. And I keep this tight. From here, we're gonna look to swing our head in and enter into single leg X. So I'm gonna take my head and I'm gonna think about leaning it in towards her heel as I pull with this grip here. Kick through, shoot my legs up, and we're in single leg X. Right? If you're new to this position, inside leg here hooks right underneath the far hamstring. Outside leg here, the one that goes this way around, hooks on the hip. Knee and heel together. Good foot in here. And forward. So real quick, go in here. She's in a staggered stance. I'm looking for that lead hand. I come from the outside and I punch it in. Lock up like this. Keep your elbows in tight here. We're gonna do one quick yank here and bring her leg forward. Right, so this is especially when her leg is more on her back foot. We're gonna get that foot stepping. Once that foot steps in, we're gonna enter. We're gonna just snake our hand right around the calf here. Doesn't feel like much, but it's a pretty solid grip. And it allows me to keep my elbow in close here. To enter into the legs, I'm gonna swing my head in while keeping a tight connection here. So look, my forehead goes towards her heel here. Now I have this leg loaded up. To get the full inside position, I just straighten this, knees to the chest, one knee to the inside here, hook the far hamstring, other foot right on the hip, and I try to close everything here and get a tight grip. All right, so that's the first entry, and this is where we're gonna play with different reactions. Let's try that on 3. 1, 2, 3. When you're close enough to pass, typically they're also within gripping range here, right? So really, like when you grip, make sure that it's a close circle around your hand, right? If there's daylight where like my fingers are not connected, her hand is gonna slide right out. When you go in, think about you closing a full circle here, drawing the elbows in. I like also to try to put my chin over the grip just to make it tight. This is not a tight grip. There's daylight here and here. So she's just gonna wiggle her arm, pull it back, and it's out. I really wanna be deliberate about closing off the space here and keeping my elbows tight here. Now, another common reaction when people feel like they're stuck in a tight 2-on-1 is they're gonna try to just back out and yank their arm out. And this is where it's important that we have this grip really shut in here, locked in tight. So she's just gonna try to back off and just try to pull her hand out. And what we're gonna do is we're not gonna try to pull against it, because if I pull this way and she pulls that way, we disconnect. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk on my feet and I'm gonna stalk her as she tries to pull it out. So we go, and walk, walk, walk. And look what happens to her feet. They start to become square here. So I walk my feet in here as she's pulling. We go in. She really wants to get out. She's walking away. Look, I'm following her, and now I'm blocking behind both ankles. We're using the momentum of her pull, so as she pulls, I'm gonna look to sweep out. One leg blocks, one does more of a sweeping motion, and I'm gonna push back with the grip to put her on her butt. When she's walking and pulling, her weight goes on her heels, which makes it easy to trip her backwards. Go, so I feel, look, I'm following her, following the grip, putting my feet into position. And she's really yanking to get it out. As she yanks, I put her on her butt. I either push with the grip, or I let go and I push on both thighs. To really get the dummy sweep strong here, I want to make sure I'm not sitting on two butt cheeks here. I want to lean to one side so I can sweep my foot along the floor and really kick out one leg. The other foot is just a blocker. It's just there to block. Right? So last time, we go in, get that tight grip, lock in the elbows. Try to get your chin close to your hands. When she pulls, we follow, block. As she's yanking, and knock her back, pushing on the thighs, and I sweep out that one foot. All right? Get a good sweep. Really make sure your foot, well, your knee rather, is pointing along the floor so you can sweep out. If it's pointing up in the sky, you can't really sweep your foot out. But you got pretty good horsepower because the person's already going back, so there's a lot of momentum going that way, and it's gonna make the sweep easier. All right? So let's work on this reaction with our partner on 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, now we've got two solid options, right? She's in that staggered stance. Because if she's just standing like this, square, all right, we can go right in and start to open up with the dummy sweeps. All right, so when she's leaning like this is where we look to work the grips, right? So go in here, right? We learned that if she had a lot of weight on the back foot, we could kind of get that front foot in here, right? Of course, if she's just really heavy on this and we can pull the other foot in, right, that's great. We can go right into our stuff from last week. Right, but let's say she's a little bit more determined, so she's gonna make sure to keep that foot back. All right, she's not really gonna let us pull in on this, and she's gonna look to go and strip my grip with the other hand. All right, this is the most, how most experienced people are gonna go for it, right? When they feel like you have a tight grip. If your grip is shit, like they just yank it out, they just back away, they explode, all that kind of stuff. But when they feel like you got a really tight grip, then they have to bring in the other hand. All right, so look, as she comes in, just rip the grip here, we're gonna switch. So I'm gonna let go one hand at a time. 1, 2, and now we got the other hand. When we got the other hand, we got a good access to pull in that back leg. Boom. And now she's back in that square stance, where if she's trying to pull back from here, we hit her right with the dummy sweep. All right, so go here, she peels, I switch, one solid yank, and we're in. She backs away, we go right into the dummy sweep. If she's leaning forward to keep her balance, we're gonna go into single leg X from here. So we're just gonna bring our knees together, go double like calf, knee grips here, and we're gonna slide ourselves in, all right? So one heel planted, and the other leg is straightened. So if I wanna go to my left, I keep my right knee tight here. If I wanna go to my right, I keep the left knee tight and I straighten the other one. I pull myself in and go, all right? So now we got some sweet combos here. Go in, and she's gonna go for the hand fight. Look, as she pushes, let go of the free hand with the free hand first. So she's grabbing my right, I'm letting go with my left, and I switch the wrist. 1, 2. Elbows tight, I give that yank for the square stance. Now I feel if she's pulling back, I go right back to my dummy sweep. Maybe I'm going for that and she's just leaning in, maybe she's taking a collar tie here, and I can't kick her back. I'm gonna make sure to connect, and I'm gonna look to slide in. And as we slide in, just make sure you have one knee close to your chest. Because if you slide in like this, you get mounted, you look like an idiot, right? You were almost there, you did a cool entry, but then you fucked up at the end. So when you slide in, keep one knee to your chest. If you feel like she's sitting back, bridge with your bottom leg and elevate her forward, go in, right? So if you're in like this situation, you feel like she's backing off, plant one leg, lift your hips, kick her forward, go in. All right, so that's the last one. When your partner strips the grip, you switch to the other hand, pull them in, and then you're right back into dummy sweeps or sliding into single leg X. Let's try it on free.